Good morning, traders. This is Ad Zeros. How are you guys doing? Hello, traders. Good morning. How are you guys doing? Can you guys hear me? Good morning, traders. This is Ad Zeros. Can you guys hear me? We are live right now. SPY is positive for the day. Nasdaq is positive. Market is pulled back. Uh, 30 years Treasury yield is basically a bit positive, and that could be an interesting one. Short term, 5 and 10, medium to long term, and are negative, but the very long term is green. So I mean, yields are increasing right now, and we need to keep an eye. And yeah, and as all notice, there's not many gappers today. I just had a beautiful morning pre-market long trade on the TAL. I joined on $20, 20.05 was my average cost. Took my first partial on 20.30 on the 20-cent stop loss, and the second partial on 20.40, then 45, and last 50 shares I have. And I wanted to see that if it can break the 50. Nice consolidation around the 40-30s area. So I wanted to give a chance this to break. Let's see what it happens. Right now, no volume. Volume gets stuck. Almost 9% up right now. So this is a issue with the small stocks where a few cents gonna move percentage very much. Uh, Today we don't have that many gappers. Uh, if we look at it, yesterday Dow was almost 2% down, S&P 1.59%, and the Nasdaq also 1.06%. So a pretty negative day. And then today is bouncing back, and even if you look at the SPY, let's look at quick SPY. Let me put the TAL here, and we can then check the SPY. And I'm going to tell you what I'm saying. If you look at the SPY and you look at here on the 15-minute charts, so this is the where the market started at the low of 426, and market basically closed at the same level. So essentially what it does that it holded the pre-market level, and right now when market gapped up, it gapped up over those pre-market consolidation. So this is going to be very important between the 4 to 6 and 4 to 7, whether it can break up or is going to continue the downward pressure. So that is going to be a very important one. And if you look at the daily, you will see what I'm saying. Kind of a kind of a candle where open and close is so close. Though it negative gap down, but after the market opens, uh, it went down a couple of points, but then moved back up. So people bought it back and put it back to the pre-market level. And if you look as the Nasdaq, you will see, in fact, Nasdaq closed positive. So uh, this shows the market resilience. As I said, the yields are still very low, and there's as far as the yields are low, the market don't see any risk of failure. And now let's quickly check what we have. The number one gapper we have is a TAL, which I've also traded. If you look at it in the last few days, it came down too much. Uh, $18, $17 was a support. Yesterday gap down, and today is gapping up over $20. And seems like this 2070 and 2021 is an important resistance. And if it crossed that, it could be a very good long for whole day today. Because high of this consolidation is 22 and then the 23. So very nice momentum we have. Look at the 15-minute charts, how beautiful 15-minute charts look like right now. And look here you go, it broke the 2050. Volume started coming in, 200,000 shares. Let's see what it does it hold this uh, 2050 or it move back down? And I think so it has a potential today, given we don't have that many play. So this could be an interesting play if it break 2060, and then we have a very good momentum after the market opens, because there are a lot of shorts there, and we gotta get a chance to short gonna cover that, and then uh, uh, we might gonna ride that time. As per the short float, I don't know why, what's the reason. As per the Finviz, is only 5%. So it's maybe that short may have recovered, but still 5% is. And for many people, it might be an interesting company to buy. So TAL is the one. Then if you see Snap, let me just put the order for the TAL. I'm gonna take a partial on 2080, uh, 20 20 shares. Okay. If you look at the snap yesterday and look at the daily, it gapped down and moved back up. And today again is gapping up by 2% and trying to move up to 62. So 60 could be an important level. I'm going to highlight that. Look at the beautiful move of the stock. And right now it is low volume, but it's keep moving up. And if you look even if the 60 minutes, you will see that the next hurdle we have here on the 6113, or we can call the 61, and then there is no hurdle between 61. This next hurdle is 6223. So beautiful formations, and if it's break 61, we're going to have a good momentum. So this definitely going to be on my list. The reason being is the way it is being traded right now, and then though it's very strong yesterday as well. So TAL is broke 2052, holding 2050 levels, so that's so nice to see. um, so yeah, so Snap would be the other ones. Let me just pull my watch list so we can add those here. Moderna again positive for a bit here. Uh, in fact, these are all relevant for today, but we can delete it and then we can add into it. Okay. So let me just put it here. Let me add here. And then we can delete from the top, because these some of them yesterday ones are still relevant for us to trade. Okay, so first one, as we discussed, TAL. Second one is Snap. Okay, now the next one, which is interesting, is the DIDI. If you look at the daily, we know it made a double bottom yesterday, and now it's holding the 11 level. We wanted to see the stock to move over 1160 to be a very good momentum towards the long side. Right now, it might just gonna consolidate, so we put as a secondary, but we will see that if it can move over 1160. So let's put as DIDI Hi, Mohammed. Will check that that whether the modern are going to close the gap. There's not a big gap. It's only 0.91% up. So right now, what we have on our watch list, TAL and Snap are going to be in our primary watch list, and the DIDI is on secondary watch list. Let's now look at the space. So we know space came down too much. Yesterday was a pullback day, a beautiful pullback all the way to 33. Now we need to see that whether it want to give one more pullback and touch this 20 EMA, or is basically want to come down, right? So we will keep an eye on this stock. This stock, it can be traded on the both side. I will be more interested to go long to see if I get any setup, but definitely if you look at it here. Uh, Stock moved up, made a very nice consolidation after 2 o'clock to all the way after hours between 32.40, and there's a clear resistance over 32 level. Right now it is also holding the 32. So anything to short under 32 is not a good idea because a very nice support, and going long over 33.40 is also not a good idea because there is a resistance. So we need to wait to retesting, and then once the direction has been taken by the stock, then we can join them. If the stock join the upward direction, then we go long, and if the stock decided to come down under 32, then we can go short as well. So we will put as a secondary because it has a both ways, no clear direction at this point. Stock need to decide its direction. Next one we are looking at is the CPOP. It is an IPO, and if you look at the IPO, this IPO, you see here, big candles, and as stock is coming down, uh, the pressure or the momentum for coming down is keep reducing. So there is no more momentum left to come down. It seems like that someone is blocking this level and not letting the stock to move down, right? So hi Bridget, really appreciate guys if you give a thumbs up, and yeah, and feel free to ask any questions if you have. So it looks very beautifully coming down. So now what we need to see here, uh, the setup, we can't just go long on this, but what my plan look like is that if it breaks the 7730, right, I might gonna go a small size, half my size, and then if once it's break the 7070, I'm gonna take the full size to ride up to the 870, because if it's gonna break, it might gonna go break at least couple of days. So if you look at it here, if it's gonna break the 7, it might go up to 8 or 9. So there is a lot of room here, but just take it slowly because sometimes it gets spready, and no momentum. We need to see a volume. Right now if you look, our vol is 100%, so this is very nice. 400,000 shares has been traded. Gap is not that much, but we wanted to wait and see what it does. So we will put CPOP in the secondary watch list right now. Right now we have only two stocks. uh, okay, let me take the partial because seems like it doesn't want to hold this 2050. uh, if it's gonna break, I did the pre-market trade here on the 2050, beautiful ride for 40-50 cents. I have a 50 shares left. I wanted to this to break 2050 and go to 2080. It broke 2050 but couldn't hold that because you see here there's not much volume at this point. I will see a little bit more. I can wait. It's only 50 shares. Uh, Hi Vitali. And okay, so next one, what I was looking at it. Okay, let me, before I move to next, let's respond to Muhammad. Muhammad is asking about Moderna. Always remember, Moderna is a spready stock, hard to trade. Okay, and this is COVID-19 play. Look at it, how beautifully it moving up, very extended. Even what we see the volume on 16th of July, the similar volume we saw on the 19th of July. Everything was down yesterday, but this stock uh, has moved, almost from 284 to 310. So very extended, but very bullish. Lot of institutional buying on the stock. And remember, one thing always remember that This Moderna stock has 100% margin. So what does it mean that uh, anyone who wants to buy Moderna, they want to buy 100% cash. They will not get any leverage from the brokers. Usually you get the buying power of 1:3, 1:5, and if you're a big investor, like you have a $500,000 portfolio, you get the leverage around that. But this Moderna is 100% on the cash. And I can show you here, so you will see here. Here, look at this. So long margin rate 100%. So it's mean that you can, if you have account and you have a cash balance of 315, yeah, $300, you won't be able to buy Moderna. If you have a $400 cash in your account, you can only buy one share. So what does it mean? That someone really buying this, and that's the reason that the stock is keep moving up, because someone really buying with the cash. They really rely on that, and that maybe the institutional buyers who wanted to buy these stocks uh, for upside, and anytime it's going to move down, maybe institutional investor want to buy more. So these kind of stocks which have an institutional ownership too much, it always has to hard to trade, because any gap down they really wanted to buy. And this company has only 400 million shares, right? And if I'm looking at it right now, uh, and right now I'm looking at the Finwiz, and institutional ownership is 54.30%. So half of the ownership is uh, is institutional ownership. So means that yesterday it sold almost 36 million shares, right? So assume like 40 million shares. So total outstanding is 400 million. So 10% of the shares uh, is being purchased and sell yesterday. In the last 2 days, almost more than 20% of the overall share size has been sold, right? The new owners have been came in. So if someone is holding here, they not want to sell it. But of course, we are the day trader, we're looking for a quick imbalance between that. Right now, if you see from the support and resistance perspective, uh, I clearly see support around $314. Next support I see on $310. A lot of supports every time it see look at if you look at it, just understand this. uh, Stock move up, came down on the $300, immediately bought back up to the 310. The pullback came in $300, immediately bought back and came back all the way to 310. Small pullback, bought back. Pullback, bought back. Pullback, bought back. Pullback, after hours, bought back. Gap up, and now right now holding this 310. So what I'm trying to say that maybe it's gonna come down, you quickly scalp it and move on. Don't try to think that it's gonna hold, it's gonna cover all the gap. We don't know. We saw this on I think the day before as well. Let me show you one more time. Is maybe a good lesson for everyone. Muhammad asking, because sometimes we think that every extended stock is here to short. No, every stock is not here to short. Let me show you here. So this is the July 20th. This is July 19th. Okay, now look at the July 18th, when the first day it gapped up, right? Okay, stock came down, immediately bought back all the way to 88. Scalp came down, touched the morning pre-market level, immediately bought back up, and then sideway action, and then again bought back up. So just look at it there, that you can scalp it, but don't expect the stock to move completely turn around and down, come down. Maybe after 10, 15 days, maybe a month, maybe 20 days later, when you get tired of trying short and then lose money. Right now it's very bullish, very bullish. Every unless we see some negative catalyst or news around that, then we can change our mind. But at this point, chart definitely look extended, really extended. You might get couple of points right? But you need to look, wait, and patiently wait for the right setup. I hope that answers your question, Mohammed. Okay, so next one we look at it. We already discussed the space. So NVDA today is the first day after the split, and it's from $800 now it is on $186 because of the split. Right now, if we see here, it is holding this 190, 186. Right now, slightly red. I don't know how it is going to be traded. But if you recall the Tesla, even Tesla after the split, it moved up couple of 100 points and then came down. So, and Nvidia maybe like that. A lot of people have interested in buying this. Uh, so we need to wait and see if we can set up. Right now, there's no news, only 0.69% down. So not really interested in this. Is active though. Almost 1.3 million shares have been purchased and sold, but nothing for us to get excited. So RKT, I just saw the RKT. RKT is gapped down almost 4%. It's been a long time I have not traded RKT. Let's see. Oh, today is an active. How daily look like? Daily is consolidating near the support. Uh, uh, we can put this, and we might gonna uh, uh, maybe take a reversal setup because it has a big support here. So I'm not sure that it's gonna further coming down or is gonna move back up. Now let's look at the CPE. CPE was gapping down, a very nice candle, make the kind of a doji hammer, and now the stock is moving up. So if stock hold the 40 level and wanted to move back up, that could be a very interesting long play, because if you look at it from 62, it came down. So very bearish. We might see a bounce up to the 41, which was a prior resistance. So still not the primary, secondary, because no clear setup. Only setup is right now is tail, which I mentioned that is look uh, bullish, but definitely we have seen here that 2050, 2060 is an important resistance. So we need to see what it does. Let me quickly recheck the scanner, and please feel free to give me if you find any other stock which you think which we have missed, so we can definitely look at it. Um, And Muhammad, you can think about it. One more want to give a you can think about it. Uh, Moderna with Sawa. Okay, Sawa. If you look at the daily, it was extended from $35. Everyone think, okay, it's 80 is going to come down, is going to come down, and a lot of people lost money. It went all the way to 115, and then boom, one day nobody knows why it came down. Then second day people thought it's a continuation, it moved back up, and then suddenly after 4 or 5 days it came down heavily. So these stocks has a issue. The reason being is because they're unpredictable that when they're going to come down, and you need to make a multiple efforts to, or you are very smart in picking those kind of a patterns, and you are very picky on it. You will patiently wait for it, and then you boom. So either way you're gonna be successful, but just don't try that, okay, today is started so extended, I'm gonna go short. No. You might gonna lose a lot of money. You look at the NET is an example. We stalking the stock from many days, but every time we think that it's gonna come down, it move back up. No clear setup. Every time is move up, bought back. So very hard to sometimes trade extended. Reason being that there are a lot of buying pressure, and we need to wait for the right moment for them to short. Let's look at the Neo, Lewis. Uh, Okay, so Neo we saw gap down and move up, and Neo has a tendency when it's gap down, if bought back up, and when it's gapping up, it comes down. We had a two wonderful trade on the Neo yesterday on the short side as well as the long side. We made money on the both side, uh, and we made money on both sides. CPE, yeah, let me check what is the volume. Yeah, not volume too much, but on the daily, I'm just checking daily is very bullish, so that's why I put on the secondary list. So Neo right now, let's see here, 15 minutes gapped up, touched the 44.40, and you know consolidating yesterday high. So for us to trade, we want this stock to move over 44.50. So then we can trade. Let's see the resistance here. If the stock move over 44.50, right, which is pre-market high, then the next resistance we see on the 44.80 and then 45.54. So beautiful uh, opportunity here we have, but we want the stock to give us some kind of a consolidation. Usually, what I've seen that when it's gapping up is sell off, but today is not gapping up too much, only 1.4. We need to wait for this to give us the right pattern. I can put it here on the secondary list right now. DKNG daily. Look at it, how beautiful yesterday was. All just bought back in the first half until 2 p.m. and then it's just consolidated and move over 45. So 45.75 is a clear resistance. Not even yesterday, even day before yesterday as well. So and the pre-market yesterday, day before yesterday. So three resistance clearly coming out on the 45.70 level. And if it crossed this, could be an interesting play. So let's uh, let's put this stock right now, not good volume, only 1.63%. We don't know what it's going to do, but definitely the 45.75 is an important level to hold if we want to go long on this stock. We can put it, a lot of stocks are secondary. It's Tuesday, not many gappers uh, because of the yesterday market sell-off. There's not too much room for us to think about it right now that what we're going to trade. Uh, AMC, let's look at AMC. A lot of people you might not able to trade AMC. Even I don't like trading AMC. Let me just remove those lines and 1.6% up. They're not much, so AMC is not doing that. Delete the AMC. Uh, Yesterday Baba went long from 202 to 208. It's a little tricky stock, but it could be a good momentum if we can find some opportunities to break this level and then come to 210. So very nice important level. Let's look at the intraday on the pre-market right now. We look at it that it started with a gap up and now consolidating between the yesterday support. So not a clear pattern. Guys, any other stock you want me to look at it? And remember today in the evening we have a workshop on how to build your trade book. And if you are interested in learning that what are the ways to get a consistency in your trading, and what I felt that most of the new traders make mistakes that they do not have a clear guidelines on how they should trade and what are the parameters they need to look at it to trade. If you are one day you are trading small cap, other day you are trading on a large cap, uh, I bet you that you're going to lose money. You will never be able to get consistency. There are other factors as well, just like the R valve, capitalization, the short float, share outstanding. These are the things you need to be very particular, and you have your fixed criterias to identify the stock and trade them with a similar kind of a criteria. If you do not have those similar criterias to trade, you going to lose money. Just like we have our own personalities, similarly each stock have their own personality. And if you are not, if you are trading different stocks every day, most likely you're gonna lose money. So you need to identify those criterias and build your own trade book, which is just not strategy, but is a combination of many other things, including the strategy. And it is not expensive. It's only $15.99. And we're going to have a workshop today evening, and recording is also available. Register and you can get the access to the recording as well. And we do not do a lot of exercise, and I'm telling you, the $16 is a price of a dinner. You're gonna worth enjoying that, and you're gonna learn so much from that workshop. Is only $15.99. So feel free to register. You will see the information below in the description of this pre-market session. And if you want, I can also uh, put into the comment box. You can register. Is today 5:30 p.m. We're going to have a workshop. Okay, so let's quickly check IMNM, literally say the IMNM. Oh, 35% up. Let me quickly check on the Finviz about this. So IMNM is a small float, 10 million shares, almost 50% of the shares have been already bought and back in the pre-market. Let's look at the daily. Former runner, it went all the way to 64. So, I mean, this looks really, really good, but it's going to be volatile, okay? And if it's moved back up over 23, okay, or 24, get ready to get halted, and you might get to some kind of a momentum to all the way to the 27. Uh, so looks really, really good, but volatile. Sh Take your shares appropriately. Uh, Clearly, I see a support around 22, then the 21, and then 20. Look at the wicks. So they have the wicks, but if it's going to break these levels, let me just put this levels here. Uh, Let me just change the color because these are the important levels here, and uh, and this is going to be an important level too. And this is going to be a first support. Okay, so definitely try this out. It looks really good, close to the VWAP, all-time high. Trying to break this, and if it's gonna break this previous resistance, which is around the June, it might gonna pop and get ready to get hauled. Okay, uh, on this stock. With Lay, you can always register and you can get the recording of this. You can get the recording of the session, and then if you have any follow-up questions, you can feel free to email to me or you can chat with me, and I'm gonna respond to you. If you want to register, you can register, and you can get the copy of the recording of the session. All right, guys. So we'll take a leave and hope you have a great green day. And trade safe. Wait for the market to give the direction. Not many gappers, so we need to wait and watch. Okay. Thank you, guys, and see you on the workshop at 5:30.